What if the difference between the life you are living right now and the life you have been begging God for is one habit? Not 10. Not a complete personality overhaul. 1. A single thing you could start doing tonight that neuroscience says will literally rebuild the wiring of your brain, and that the Bible has been telling us to do for over 3,000 years. I am going to show you exactly what it is, why almost every Christian does it wrong, and how to do it the right way so that 9 weeks from now you are looking at a version of yourself you did not know was possible. This actually happened in the Bible. A man named Joshua just watched Moses die. Moses, the man who led an entire nation out of slavery, parted the Red Sea, talked to God face to face on a mountain. And now Joshua, who has spent 40 years carrying Moses' sandals, has been handed the keys to the kingdom and told to march several million people into a land filled with armies and walled cities and literal giants. And here is what God says to him. Joshua chapter 1, verses 8 and 9. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. For then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Out of every possible piece of advice God could have given a man about to lead a nation into war, he told him to meditate on the word day and night, and not the way you think. This is where modern science walks in and confirms something the church has known for thousands of years and mostly forgotten how to use. Until the 1990s, every neuroscientist on Earth believed that your adult brain was finished, locked, set in concrete by the time you finished growing up. Whatever fears and patterns and habits you had at 20, you would die with at 80. And then the brain scanners came online and proved them all wrong. Your brain is rewiring itself every single day. They call it neuroplasticity. Every thought you rehearse, every habit you repeat, every word you speak over your own life is carving a literal pathway into the physical structure of your brain. The more you use a pathway, the wider and faster it gets. The longer you ignore one, the more it shrinks. Your brain is not a stone tablet. Your brain is a construction site that never closes. And whatever you fix your attention on the longest is what gets built. Now go back to what God told Joshua and read it with new eyes. Meditate on the word day and night. God was not handing him a religious tradition. God was handing him a neurological prescription. Because here is what the Hebrew word for meditate actually means, and this is where almost every Christian gets it wrong. The Hebrew word is hagah, and hagah does not mean to sit quietly with your eyes closed and clear your mind. That is Eastern meditation, and that is the opposite of what God told Joshua to do. Hagah literally means to mutter, to speak under your breath, to rehearse out loud. The picture in the original language is of a man walking through his field, repeating God's word to himself like he cannot stop chewing on it. A lion growling over its prey is described with the same word in Isaiah chapter 31. That is the intensity God was talking about. Joshua was not supposed to think the word. He was supposed to speak it constantly, out loud, until it became the operating system of his brain. And science has now confirmed why this works so much faster than just reading silently. When you speak something out loud, your brain fires across multiple regions at the same time. Your language centers, your hearing centers, the motor control of your mouth, the breath in your lungs, the visual recall as the words form in your mind. Every region you engage at once makes the new pathway in your brain lay down faster and stronger. One meta-analysis of 27 different studies found that people who used physical practice instead of just mental practice learned the new skill 2 to 3 times faster. Speaking is your physical practice. Joshua was being told to leverage every system in his brain at once, 3,000 years before any scientist on earth knew why it worked. But here is where this gets personal for you, because this is the part you actually need. The voice in your head that has been telling you the same lie for the last 15 years did not get there by accident. You built it. Every time you rehearsed the lie, every time you agreed with the lie, every time you spoke the lie out loud about yourself, you were doing exactly what God told Joshua to do, except with the wrong content. You have been meditating, haga'ing, muttering the lie to yourself day and night for years, and your brain did exactly what it was designed to do. It built you a highway. So now the lie comes up automatically. Now the fear runs on autopilot. Now the shame greets you the second you open your eyes in the morning. You did not fail to renew your mind. You renewed it in the wrong direction. And the good news is the same mechanism that built the highway can be used to build a new one. The same brain that learned to hate itself can be retrained to believe what God says about it. The road can be rerouted. Researchers have measured how long it takes. About 63 days of consistent, focused practice for a new pathway to physically overtake an old one. 9 weeks. That is the distance between the person you are tonight and the person you could be by the end of summer. So here is the practical part, because I do not want you to walk away with only inspiration. The first step is what I call finding your Jericho moment. Joshua did not meditate on the word in a season of peace. He meditated on it the night before the walls had to come down. You need an emotional reason for your brain to take this seriously, because here is something else the science says. Your brain only opens what neuroscientists call a neuroplasticity window when there is urgency, novelty, or strong emotion involved. When you are calm and comfortable, your brain does not feel the need to change anything. So you need to be honest with yourself about what is at stake. Where are you going to be in 5 years if the lie in your head keeps winning? What will you have lost? What relationships will be gone? What versions of you will have died because you did not fight for them? Sit with that for 10 seconds. Let it hurt. That is the fire that opens the window. Joshua was about to lead a nation into a land of giants. You are about to lead yourself out of a season you swore you would never still be in. That is a Jericho moment. Honor it. The second step is to choose what you are going to meditate on. Pick one verse, not 10. One, specifically chosen for the lie you are fighting. If the lie is that you are alone, your verse is Deuteronomy 31-6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. If the lie is that your past has ruined you, your verse is Isaiah 43:18-19. Remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? If the lie is that you are weak, your verse is 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. If the lie is that nothing will ever change, your verse is Ezekiel 36:26. And I will give you a new heart, and a new spirit I will put within you. And I will remove the heart of stone from your flesh, and give you a heart of flesh. Pick the one that hits the deepest bruise. Write it on a card. Put it where you cannot avoid it. The third step is the practice itself, and this is where you do exactly what God told Joshua to do. Speak the verse out loud, before your feet touch the floor in the morning, before your head hits the pillow at night. When the old thought attacks you, you do not argue with it. You do not analyze it. You haga over it. You mutter your verse into the room until the old thought has nothing to hold on to, out loud, with your mouth, because your brain is wired to take spoken words far more seriously than thoughts that just float through. And do not rush this. Take 5 minutes. Speak it slowly. Let the words land on you. Let the verse become something you can feel in your chest, not just something you can quote at a Bible study. And then the fourth step, which is the one almost nobody is willing to do, but it is the one that decides whether any of this actually works. You have to stop muttering the old lies. God told Joshua, the word shall not depart from your mouth, but the corollary is also true. Whatever you let depart from your mouth is what your brain is going to build. If you spend 5 minutes speaking your verse and then 4 hours speaking complaint, fear, gossip, and self-hatred for the rest of the day, your brain knows which one you mean. You cannot meditate your way into a new mind while your mouth is still pouring concrete into the old one. Watch your own words for one day, just one. You will be horrified at what you have been saying about yourself, about your spouse, about your future, about your finances. Cut it. Replace it. James chapter 3 verse 6 says, "The tongue is a fire, And James was not exaggerating. Your tongue is the chisel you have been using to carve your own brain for years. Pick a different chisel. That is the whole thing. Find the urgency. Pick one verse for one lie. Speak it out loud, morning and night. Watch what you let out of your mouth the rest of the day, for 63 days. If you do that, I do not have to tell you what will happen, because the God who told Joshua the same thing 3,000 years ago already told you what will happen. Then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Joshua walked into a land of giants with that one habit and brought down walls that had stood for centuries. The giants in your life are not bigger than the ones he faced. The walls in your life are not thicker than the ones at Jericho. And the God who gave him the prescription is the same God who is giving it to you tonight. Now, if you do all of this and you still find that there is something that will not move, something so dug in that no amount of meditation seems to budge it, then you are not dealing with a habit anymore. You are dealing with what the Bible calls a stronghold. And strongholds come down a different way. 2 Corinthians 10 verses 4 and 5 says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to destroy strongholds." We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ. I have made a full breakdown on exactly how to dismantle a stronghold, and I will link it for you next. But before you click anything, do the first thing tonight. Pick your verse. Speak it before you sleep. Day 1 of 63. You are not who that voice in your head has been telling you that you are. You never were, and the proof has been written in your Bible the whole time. Now go pick up the sword.